I'm starting with the Fusion palette Pretty Rainbow and grabbing Indigo Princess. I'm picking up mainly the blue with just a little bit of purple because I want to load the toe of my brush with black so that I can create more of a natural line work effect without having to line this if I don't want to. Now, the unicorn of the sea is a whale, but it's not very round, so I want to keep this shape very almond or teardrop shaped and underneath my eyebrow, opposed to if I was trying to get more of a traditional whale shape, I would go above my eyebrow or even cut through so that I have more of a rounded circular shape. Now that I have the general shape etched out, I'm going to go a little bit heavier on my brush. You can see I'm really pushing all of those bristles down flat so that I'm laying that color down, pulling the toe around, and getting the color applied on the inside as well with the heel of the brush. You can load a sponge if you'd rather use a sponge to fill in. I very often will just manipulate the heel and the bristles. You can see I'm just pulling the heel of the brush right over my eyelid. You can tap this out with your finger or with a sponge as well to help blend it out if you need to. Now that we have a nice teardrop shape framing our eye, we are going to do the flukes of the whale, which are the tail. And I'm just going to do 2 petal shapes going down onto my cheek. And then after that, we are going to do the flippers, which will go right underneath the eye. You can really see on the tail here or the flukes that loading the toe of the brush with black is really paying off, and it looks very nicely, naturally lined without me having to go in and do line work. The effect got a little bit lost on the body of the whale, but if you're really vigilant about this and you reload often at a festival, it can save you a lot of time. Now for the first flipper, I made it quite small because this is going to be in the back on the other side of our whale. So I also dragged the body line back over the flipper so that it appears that that flipper is going behind my whale. And then I'm going to make the other flipper just a little bit larger than the first one so that it completes the illusion. And I went back over that first flipper a few times because the shape wasn't quite right and it was driving me crazy. But as you guys know, when you're standing in front of a child, you can always get perspective a little bit easier rather than doing it around your own eye. So hopefully you guys won't have as much trouble as I did getting it just right, but it was driving me crazy. Okay, so now I'm going to take Vivid Rainbow and I'm going to do the tusk of our whale. Now, unlike a unicorn where the horn goes straight up, the tusk comes out the front. And yes, it is technically a tusk, not a horn. I know my dreams were shattered as well because I always thought it was a horn, like a unicorn. It's not, it's a tusk. Who knew? And even more accurately, scientists call it the front tooth, like a canine. So I learned so much about narwhals doing this. I had no idea, but to me, they will always be the unicorn of the sea. I am going to go in and just add a little bit of a black outline to this to give it more of a cartoony effect. And as you can see, a real narwhal is pretty gray. They've got a lot of spots. Obviously, my intention is not to paint a realistic narwhal. I want this to be more cartoony, more fantasy, and a little bit more fun, and that allows me to add things like a rainbow tusk and things like that, because quite frankly, most little kids don't just want a gray whale with a gray tusk painted on their forehead. This is the unicorn of the sea after all, so make it fun, make it your own, and it's a lot cuter this way. As you can see, I outlined the tusk, my rainbow tusk, and I went ahead and put some lines in it as well so that it does give the effect of that unicorn horn feel. And then depending on how old the child is that you're painting this design on, if you can add some eyeliner or some additional eyelashes, it's really going to bring the attention and focus to that eye. If you're newer to face painting and you're not quite sure how to tell if a kid is old enough for this, ask yourself a few questions. Can they keep their eye shut for a long time? Do they keep opening their eye? Do they keep moving their head? Do they keep asking you when it's done? If they're doing those things, then don't line their eye. Don't give them eyelashes. If they are being patient and still and they can hold their eye closed without opening it for a long period of time, they're old enough for eyeliner, and that way they'll keep their eye closed long enough for it to dry and not smudge it. So just a couple little tips there. You'll be able to figure that out pretty quickly as you continue face painting, but in the beginning it's kind of hard to tell. So I went ahead and added a few white highlights. I want to take my ooze stencil and do kind of a rainbow shape of stars going over my horn or tusk. So I'm taking a dauber and some black paint, and then I'm going to get my Mama Clown glitter all ready to go so that once I'm done stenciling in the black, I can dip into my glitter and I can go ahead and glitter up my stars before removing the stencil. The finger daubers are nice to use with stencils because you can be really precise because the surface area of the dauber is so small, as well as it fits into your fingers so you can manipulate it a little bit more than a sponge. Like a sponge, you have to be careful not to load it with too much water, but then they're also great to dip right into glitter and apply that to your wet paint so that you have a glittered stencil. And it actually really ends up looking like a glitter tattoo. So if you're ever in a pinch at a gig or you need something to fill up time, grabbing your stencils and doing these kind of makeshift glitter tattoos on kids is a great alternative to someone who doesn't want face paint or when you just need to fill up time at a gig. And I don't want to waste that extra glitter on my dauber, so I am just patting it over my narwhal so that it is shining as well. I'm going to add some lipstick, which always helps make the face painted design feel more like a full face design rather than just an eye design. And then I really ideally would have liked my stars to have a bit more of an arch to them. I am basically doing this blind because I cannot see past the stencil. So if I could be doing this on someone else, I would have jogged my fingers over and gotten the full arch of the stars. So I was a little disappointed that I couldn't do that very easily. So I tried to extend it a little bit to get the look that I meant to have. And that helped. That looks a lot better to me. And finally, you can add any other details you want to turn this into a full face design or to add other elements. The narwhal is the main element of this design, and then after that, you can add one stroke work, line work, chunky glitter, more stencils, you name it. I am going to add some vivid chunky glitter. I love this yellow color. I believe it's called Pineapple. It is one of my absolute favorites. It complements everything and brings that really fun neon look. So I'm going to add that over my forehead to kind of extend my starry stencil, and then I'm going to fill in the gap over here on this side as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this narwhal design. My friend Zoe suggested I do a narwhal a while ago. She is a viewer of my channel, so thank you, Zoe, for the suggestion. Narwhals are magical and fun, and I hope my design did it justice. I really enjoyed painting it, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in my next video because little Billy here has picked out all these colors for me to paint her. So I am going to go paint her, and I will see you guys soon.